Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's BDF44 coming up to you with another video. Of course, I'm sitting in the dark. No big deal. You guys already know how I do this. I kind of wanted to provide um, a bit of perspective on what happened with the Milwaukee Bucks Brooklyn Nets situation with PJ Tucker and KD getting into it, and the security guard kind of literally getting out of his seat and like throwing his body in the mix. First of all, y'all know I do security. This is no secret. But I don't do that kind of security. I'm not, doing details where I'm actually throwing my body in the way of people and putting my hands on people and guns and all that. I don't have that kind of stuff going on. We're sanctioned strictly to be guards in terms of, you know, making sure that people are safe from a observation perspective, making sure that we are a liaison to the police in regards to whatever takes place on the property, escorting people off the property that need to be gone, but we're not supposed to put our hands on anybody, etc. So that's where my limitations lie based on my position. But I can tell you that I've been in the business and I've been around people who've been in those types of details, and I can kind of give you some perspective based on what I've seen. And to be honest with you, I think the security guard kind of got he. Here's the deal: when you are trying to protect someone of that caliber, you want to protect them at all times. But you gotta understand that whatever's going on the basketball floor is not your domain. Even if it's a fight, as a security guard, you gotta understand that you are not supposed to be jumping on the court because you make something a legal problem rather than it being just a safety issue. Now it becomes a league issue. Now it becomes a situation where KD is being looked at as, why is your employees interfering with NBA business? Why is your employees breaking rules of the of the of the building of the you know what I'm saying? It's like you got a lot of things to consider. If a security guard who is an employee of Kevin Durant isn't involving himself in a scrum that's involving basketball players on the NBA clock who are literally working at that moment, it's like, and then you consider what a security guard can do, what they're what he likely has on him in that situation, what he's allowed to carry or what have you. Nah, he should be able to read the room better, to know that, first of all, yes, if this is a street situation, of course, if this is back behind the scenes, yeah, that if he and PJ Tucker get into it on the street later on, yeah, you supposed to be involved. But if they're in uniform basketball court, you're not supposed to do anything. You're supposed to sit back and let them men figure that out, because it's an unspoken rule in the NBA. Some players have security, other guys don't. You know what I mean? It's a real large discrepancy in regards to, the type of pay that players are making from one to another, and some people aren't going to have that type of super security detail. The guys who do have to have some control over that at all times, especially when they're on the court. I mean, Shaq has a guy that he has with him, kept with him his entire career. We saw this dude sitting on the sideline as Laker fans as much as we saw Kobe and Shaq. He was always there. He was there with the coaches. He was there with Gary Vitti. He was a regular face in the crowd. But he would never get involved in no scrums when Shaq would be getting into it with people on the court. Now, let's say he was getting into it with somebody behind stage, behind the scenes in the locker room or something. Maybe, something that the cameras can't see. Who knows? But that dude was always there for the real stuff. Now, if somebody try to pull out a gun, try to shoot Shaq, he gonna definitely put that person down. Somebody, one of them fans, try to run on the court, try to get at Shaq, he can interfere there. But he ain't gonna get involved in no scrum between basketball players on the court. Absolutely not. Because no matter how dangerous, quote unquote, dangerous that situation may appear, we know nobody's life is threatened. We know those guys ain't about to do nothing real. We know that this is not a situation that personal security needs to get involved in. You got a bunch of teammates on the floor. It's 12 guys on that floor that all on the same team. You don't need security to kind of break up basketball players. Basketball players can break up basketball players. You feel me? And I know they got the rule that certain guys can't get off the bench. The NBA has created that rule for obvious reasons. Anybody that remembers the Malice in the Palace is not going to question that. So, that may be a reason why a security guard may feel compelled to kind of jump in a situation like that based on the fact that other players may not. But PJ Tucker and KD, let them figure out what they're going to do. You are a security guard paid to handle real threats. That ain't no real threat. Don't try to be overzealous and try to prove your loyalty to KD, because all you showed him is that you have no sense of what the hell's going on. You have no sense of what his profession is and the unwritten rule for how to handle that profession if you're a security guard. Look, I've been watching basketball my whole life, so I guess I have some insight as to the context of how things are supposed to go down on the basketball court from that perspective. As a fan, I've watched so many games for so many years till it's like I kind of get the understanding that, yeah, maybe this hasn't been discussed, but you ain't supposed to be interfering with nothing that goes on in that basketball floor if you're not in between those lines. Like, honestly, no fans supposed to be going on the court. You know what I mean? None of that. It's between the coaches and the players. That's their domain. If they got a problem, they gotta handle it. They gonna handle it on the court. If some guys gotta push and start doing little punches, they gonna handle that on the court. The NBA will find who they need to find. They'll take money from they'll suspend whatever. That's all NBA business. That's manageable. Security guard, you jumping in there and all that comes with that is not manageable. It becomes a lot of different stuff after that. At the end of the day, it from a business perspective, from a legal perspective, it can turn into a lot of different stuff that is not manageable. That is very difficult to manage. So, security guard was all wrong. I heard that he was let go. I'm not surprised by that, for the simple fact that he was just simply tone deaf. That's what it really come down to. If you're a security guard, you got to have a balance about yourself to understand when you need to implement yourself in a situation, when you need not to. And sometimes those situations can seem a bit confusing for some people, especially when you got a high profile person like that. That can be a thin line between when you think you should and shouldn't. But if you're protecting a basketball player, you got to understand who a basketball player is, what a basketball player is about, and what that code is that they got going on. They live by that. It's not really a code, but it's like it's an unwritten rule of how certain things are supposed to go. No security guard is supposed to be hopping in. And you see the memes going around online now. Like, I got a meme that I saw. It looked like KD was like a baby in somebody's arm, and somebody was the same person who was holding the baby was also pointing at somebody else who was standing along the right other way, and just basically saying this person represents PJ Tucker, who that person was pointing at. The baby was KD, and the security guard was the person holding KD. It's like, that's the type of stuff that comes throughout. It's almost like having your parents drop you off at school after a certain age. It's like, oh, you can't get to school on your own. Your mommy, you had to drop you off, huh? Like, that's how that goes. It becomes a situation where you look weak. Like, damn, homie can't even handle his own basketball court battles. He got to have security come in and handle his basketball court battles. Like, that's totally leaves KD looking weak in the freaking playoffs at that. In a time where he's supposed to be dominating the other team, in a time where it really matters. Every psychological anything can be the difference. And you got situations like this where a security guard is coming in to save the day. And it's like, come on, man. Not only that, but you made contact with PJ Tucker. Now it's a situation where PJ can make it a legal thing. Like, your security guard put his hands on me while I was working. Like, he threw his body on me while I was working. Like, that's, you putting my life in danger. My livelihood's in danger. What if this man attacks me further? What if, you know what I mean? Like, do you have any control over your employee? Like I said, it could become a lot of different things, bro. A lot of different things. So, at the end of the day, that security guard seemed like a rookie. It was a rookie mistake. It was tone deaf. It spoke to him possibly having like a loose cannon. etc. Maybe none of that's true. Maybe all of it's true. But at the end of the day, that security guard's gonna have to go through some real training before he's ready to, um, go take care of some type of detail of that nature, man. KD is too high profile to be making those type of rookie mistakes, man. So that's just my opinion. My name is BDF44. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out.